Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live detailing session right here at the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. Thank you for bearing with us while some stuff got taken care of in the back end. We're here now, and we're actually going to have some fun. So without any further ado, you don't want to just look at me this whole time. We're here to be about detailing. So let's go take a look outside and see what's going on out there. Hey, there's the guys.
What's going on, Dane? How's it happening?
Well, I'm chilling in the studio, but it looks like you are too, just the other studio. So you got a car behind you. What's the story today? What are we doing?
Oh, you want me to talk about it?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm happy to talk about it.
Here we go.
I didn't know if Dane was going to do our intros. Like,
Nope.
I'm Dane Hennon. To my
hello.
left is, Levi Gates and Anthony Fisher. I didn't know if he was going to do that or not.
That's the fun part about it being live.
Yeah.
Is we never know what we're going to get. But the point is, today we are going to be doing a little demo for you guys. We're going to be doing something that probably all of you could do at home, for one. Two, we're going to add a little protection. So with this sweet little Bolt EV behind us, we are going to rinseless wash it using Absolute. We are going to then dry it off. Then we're going to polish it out real quick with a little bit of the Uno Advanced, which has a ceramic in it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to wipe off that Uno Advanced. And normally I would give it more time, but for the video, we're actually going to spray Defender on top. So this is the same thing I've been doing in my garage pretty much every weekend for the last like 2 years.
Wow. I don't think Defender's been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, but I've been doing this process for at least a year.
Because there was a process before that with Uno Protect and Bead Maker.
Yeah, I invented that.
You invented, and then you implemented, and you taught thousands, if not, 100,000 people, millions of people how to do that, and they all loved it.
Yeah, it's amazing what I'm capable of.
Crazy how much credit you got for that. So anyways, it's going to be a fun time. So what we have behind us is, I would say, a mildly dirty Chevy Bolt, and so we're going to go through, like what Levi said, with Absolute. I'm going to follow up with a little bit of I have a clay towel over there, a little bit of Glear from Star Gloss, just to kind of prep some certain surfaces before polishing. But I will say that the front of the vehicle here does have some PPF on it. So we have PPF on the hood, PPF on the front bumper, and then I believe PPF on the mirrors, but everything else is pretty much fair game as far as throwing down with some polishing stuff. So what you guys can do is bring us your detailing related questions, because we're going to be working hard. We're going to try to answer your questions along the way. Dane is going to be holding down the fort in the studio. It's kind of tough sitting down for this long, you know what I mean? We're out here sweating, working.
We sit down every Thursday for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, me and you,
with Dane.
Yeah, but it's got to be, kind of hard being able to sit there for that long, seeing us have all the fun we're having.
That's true, because we get to be out here playing,
stretching our legs, right? Dane,
we were dancing beforehand.
Dane, do you do your best work sitting down, or is that just a myth?
No, that's actually real. That's in fact an actual thing. My best work is done sitting down. It's true. I can accomplish so much from right here, you wouldn't believe it.
Perfect. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to grab the goods, get started on the wash here, because we only have you guys for less than an hour and a half, so we got to get this thing done. So Dane, pitch us questions as needed, but hopefully you all are having a very fantastic Thursday, and we're getting you set up for a good
Beautiful
weekend.
Friday Eve.
Yes.
It is very snowy outside, so what we're seeing all over this vehicle mostly is just a lot of leftover snow, a lot of sand. There's probably some magnesium chloride on it. So the first thing Anthony's going to be doing is hitting it with the IK sprayer as he drops it on the ground. You guys can see that.
Glad that didn't fall into the car. No, I thought this was hooked on here. My bad.
Yeah.
It's make sure it's hooked.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But he's going to knock it down with, we just put some Absolute in there, and he's just pre-wetting the surface so we can pick up any of that leftover sand and gravel and all that kind of stuff that's on the surface, because it is lightly dirty. This car does live in a garage at night, so that has been helpful because it's not having any issues sitting outside for too long. And the best part is, at least it's small, so we don't have to worry too much. Looks like you're running out there, Anthony.
Getting pretty low.
Good news is I got plenty right here. We can pour right back into it.
You got quite a bit of liquid?
We'll see. Maybe we'll get a cup. We got a couple gallon jugs we can throw in there.
Well, while you guys are doing that, I got a bunch of people trying to say hello. So I'm going to go ahead and start throwing those comments up on the screen, so we're not wasting any time. pop up the first one. Oh, that's nice. I hit the button and it actually does it this time. So, hello, I'm in the box. Okay, so Dino here saying, hello, boys and girls. Had to check this one over the weekend. Have fun, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. Well, thanks, Dino.
Thanks, Dino.
Nice.
We appreciate it, man.
Following up, we've got Dan Pfeiffer. It wouldn't be a Q&A without Dan saying good. Oh, he blanked it. He wrote good. And word up.
Dan. Come on.
Good and word up from a frozen Minnesota, USA.
Oh, he's frozen. That's
Happy
why.
Friday Eve.
His hands don't work.
TRC, looking forward to today's Q&A. I agree. I think it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Oh, there we go. And moving along, we've got Superado. Superado here saying, what up, fellas? Did I somehow miss the announcement of the Grand Ambassador Champion?
No.
Anthony.
Champion has not been announced yet. It has been a very busy last few days. We're getting a lot of things set up here, and then also getting the new Grand Ambassadors all set up for success for their time. So they're kind of new to the game, so I kind of had to prioritize them a little bit. But don't worry, we will be announcing the winner sooner than later. I believe Dane said he's going to be doing that from his Twitch live stream. Is that right, Dane?
Well, that's the first I've heard it, but if you need somebody to pick up the slack, once again, I can do all the heavy lifting here. I can do all the work. If you're not cut out for it, I'm happy to step in.
I know you would. Thank you, Dane.
Tune into the Twitch live stream
Oh, man.
for the
All right.
announcement.
Now, 3M Auto Spa LLC saying, good afternoon, my fellow detailing family. I have a question.
Yeah.
To which 3M follows up with, as I get it on my screen, who has experience or tested apply ceramic coating with airbrush system? Oh, he's looking to see about applying coatings with an airbrush system. Looking forward to get some wheel ceramic coated. They have lots of areas where just an applicator will not be useful. Okay, so it's a little clunky here the way it's written, but that's okay. I think I generally understand what he's asking. He wants to use a spray system.
Yeah, so there's only a few coatings on the market that you can actually spray. So
Right.
the problem with that is there are good things, there are pros and cons. Pros, very easy, simple, spray it on, wipe it off. The cons, you sometimes need to make sure that you're always wearing, I guess you always have to wear a respirator. You need to make sure you got gloves. You need to be making sure that you're the only one in the area. But Modesta, Diamond Protec, and there's a few others that do make sprayable coatings. I don't have any experience with it. We have watched. If you go on our YouTube channel, you can watch this when we go to Switzerland and we go to Diamond Protec headquarters. They actually sprayed a coating on some wheels, and Anthony coated a wheel, and Stosh sprayed a wheel in the same amount of time and finished it faster than Anthony. So
We sprayed the mesh grills on the 488P stuff, but yeah, some of the mesh stuff, it made sense rather than getting in there and, getting every little nook and cranny. It kind of made faster work of the thing while still giving the equal amount of protection.
It can be done. It's starting to get phased out just because of the health problems.
Health
it
issues.
clogs up guns. There's a lot of things that you've got to do. And that's one of the neat things about the Pro coating from Diamond Protec is they do make a version with the spray and the cleaner and everything for the gun, so you can make sure that you clean your gun out when you're done with it.
All right.
So
Then I've got Barry DeHart here saying, will you be doing a live stream from Mobile Tech?
no.
So we're not sending anybody with any technical skills to Mobile Tech, as far as I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a rude way of explaining.
No, pretty much.
It's an honest way to say it. I mean, really, we're going to have John, we're going to have Levi, we're going to have Josh, the Joshes. Yeah, none of which are super technically savvy there. So, because we're going to be stealing Jimmy, myself, and Dane, because we're going on our own adventure. About a week later, Dane? Days later?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. IRL live stream, Mr. Cinematographer, and Mr. Talks a Lot. You got all three of us going to
The heck?
Florida there.
That's what I get, Mr. Talks a Lot. thanks, Dane.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm totally wrong there. But
there is some truth. There is some truth there.
Anyway, moving along, we've got Dan Pfeiffer following up and saying, on a CSL/exo-coated vehicle that is mostly outside here in Minnesota, how often would you do a coating decon/refresh? Also, how often would you apply a topper of C2V3 to this vehicle? Thanks.
So what was that again? Sorry. On CSL exo-coated vehicle that mostly outside here in Minnesota, optimally do. So I try to only do that stuff once a year, regardless. You could probably have done a C2V3 topper right before the winter season. Then after the winter season, go on to the clean it, decon it, and then apply it again, just to make sure that you're ready for spring. Right? That's kind of the way I would run it. So I try to limit the amount you decon it, because that doesn't help the coating.
Sure.
It can help it when it needs it, but not many times. I think that's the problem. Is a lot of people feel like they have to keep deconning their coatings almost every wash.
Almost every wash, yeah.
And that's not what you need to do.
I think, yeah, it's the more times you decon it, the more higher pH chemicals, lower pH chemicals you're spraying on there for I don't want to say no reason, but just because you think it might be contaminated, you're going to be degrading that coating way more than you would if you just kind of let it go, let it ride out, and give it a couple more washes. But I mean, I don't know, to each their own.
People can get a little overzealous with the decon. I would agree.
I mean, my cars that are coated, I wouldn't even call it a decon. I would call it probably just every once in a while I'll throw a higher pH soap on there, like Active Foam, like Super Foam. And I mean, it's every once in a while, right? Or if I'm just doing a normal Green Star wash, if I'm feeling a little spicy, I might throw in a little bit of a GSF wash, I might throw in a little bit of Green Star.
That's just kind of like a medium duty maintenance wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it. Like every wash I do is just a normal wash, right? But every once in a while I might do a medium duty maintenance wash, as Dane said, and call it good.
Right. And I am noticing these comments get a little cut off by my little box in the corner there. I'm sure we'll work on that in the future so people can read it if they're just looking at the screen at home. But no worries. We got this going. I've got Alex here popping up to say, hope everyone's doing well. Slowly getting out of a deep freeze. We'll catch this one later. Love you all.
Well, thanks,
right back
Alex.
at you, Alex. And I know it was negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit where you were for an extended period of time. So that's no joke. All right. Hey, we got our buddy Nate here. Happy Friday Eve. It was recently negative 11 here, and they've been spraying the roads. They've been spraying the roads. What would you recommend for removing salt/mag chloride after a good snow?
Salt, mag chloride after a good snow. Something as simple as I just said, Green Star. It also depends. Like, are you... what was I going to say? Are you planning on spraying the underside? Do you have access to a pressure?
Nate has a lot of chemicals at his disposal.
Mm-hmm. So do you have access to, pressure washer and all that kind of stuff? I mean, that's where, I don't know. You could go down to a pay and spray if you have nothing available to use in your garage. Can you wipe that back door right there? I missed one spot on the kind of lower midsection. Take it to a pay and spray, go spray the underside of the vehicle, take it down there regardless. You can also bring an IK sprayer with you, fill it with something with a little bit of a higher pH, spray your lowers, get all that cleaned off. But the biggest thing is to check for, spots where rust is going to form, right? Check your arches, check if you have any type of rolled fenders on the underside of things where moisture or salt is getting built up, because that's one thing that I think some people don't think about, is that in areas where it's not just mag chloride, but it's actually salt themselves, check look online, see where rust is typically affecting your style of car or areas that are prone to rust. But one thing I will tell you that a big thing that people have issue with is typically rear quarters, rear fenders, where the arches are. So what I would typically do is check on that inside lip of your rear fenders, right, and see if you can feel salt buildup on that inside lip. Because if that salt's just sitting there on essentially non-coated metal, it's going to continue to start to erode that and begin to cause rust issues. So just simply feel your finger underneath the backside of your fender there, see if it has a lip on there. If it does have a lip and you do notice a bunch of buildup there during the winter, try to take a towel, take something and try to wipe those areas out, or simply pressure wash it to keep that salt from forming anything nasty.
Great advice. Yes. I've got Super Auto here, making sure everybody hits that like button. Please do so if you haven't already. Then I've got the Bearded Hunter saying, what's up, everybody? Hope your Thursday is going great. Followed by Hang Loose.
Hunter, what's going on, dude? Good to see everybody here.
And then I've got some people complaining about needing a new IT department while we get stuff fixed. I think we're all right there now that we got this rolling. Franco with the What's Up Nerds. Then I've got Craig Schwent. Craig is saying, hey guys, what do you recommend to wash a vehicle covered in salt while below freezing? Warm rinseless? I'm afraid it'll freeze to the vehicle. My driveway turned into a skating rink the last time I did it.
Yeah, that's always the worry. If you're inside a garage and your garage has got some form of heat,
freezing,
just do it in the garage. But if you're doing it out in the driveway and it's freezing out, I don't recommend doing anything chemically when it's freezing.
I mean, do you have a pay and spray near you that's running hot water?
That's really all you can do.
I mean, go down to your local pay and spray car wash. Most of them are running hot water because they do like to stay open during the wintertime.
Or warm.
Yeah, rinse the car off. Bring an IK spray with you. Bring something that's going to be able to lay on some type of product and then rinse it off. And that's the best you could do. I mean, really, as long as you're trying, doing something, it's going to be better than you not doing anything at all, wishing you would have done something.
Yep. Yeah. Just spray it off, or find a. The other thing is find a touchless wash in your area and run it down there and just pay to have a touchless wash done on it. Just enough to get the stuff knocked off, and you can run it through a second time,
All right.
There's a lot of different things that you can do. The problem is too many times we get stuck and we go, oh my gosh, I can't turn on my pressure washer. I can't turn on my house water. Well, automatic car washes, the only time they say no bucket washing or any of that is because in the spring and summer, people are there. They're using it all the time for hours. That's the point. But if you go in the wintertime and you're braving it, nobody's there.
No, they're happy to have any customer at that point.
Let's see, utilize them. I used to do that before I bought a pressure washer and was running warm water out of my house. Like, same thing. I literally would run every car that I did. I would run it to the pay and spray. I would pressure wash it. I would do the main wash there. Then I would drive it home, pull it into my driveway, and then literally do this, or in my garage, and then do this. Just a quick rinseless, because in reality, I hadn't gotten a lot of grime and dirt. I'd only just gotten, what I did on the drive back. So,
yeah.
I've got Joey Belinsky saying, I'm just here for a good time. Agree with that. To which the Details of Me also replies, me too, Joey. I'm on my lunch break.
Nice.
And then we've got a bunch of people asking about lunch. That's the way these things go. All right. On to page 2. Oh, come on, Joey. Talking about Cheez-Its now? All right.
Anthony,
anyway,
are you feeling anything on this paint?
I am, yes.
Okay.
This is important. But over on this side, if you want to start drying over here, Levi, we're good to go here for drying. I'll go work on the other side.
You started at the back of the
I started, so this whole top section here, I just didn't do the fenders because they're PPF'd.
Okay.
But everything over here, even up to here, and I haven't done the roof.
Okay.
All right. Harry Housewife saying, what's up, beautiful people?
What is going on, Darren? What's popping, dude?
Mr. Honey himself. All right. Then we've got Spencer B here. Hey, team. Got to use Uno Advance for the first time today. I noticed it was clogging up my pads pretty decently, even with using the System 4000 pad washer. Is this normal? Any ways to mitigate this?
Yeah, don't use so much product. So the thing about the Uno Advanced is a little bit goes a long way, and you can clog up your pad if you're using too much. And that's something most people don't think about, is the amount of product they need to be putting on the vehicle. So I would say be careful on what you're putting on per panel, and use a lot less the next time.
Okay. And we're going to be using Uno today as well.
That's literally what we're going to be doing, Dane.
Yeah. So you'll get to see us actually and how these guys handle it. So that'll be helpful, I'm sure. And that was, by the way, Spencer, our non-tractor Spencer.
Excellent, Spencer.
So hey.
Non-tractor Spencer.
Yeah. 3M Auto Spa LLC asking, question, can we use an airbrush? Oh, we already did the apply ceramic coatings. Yeah, we already covered that one for you, 3M. Grant Hawtrey, Grant Hawtrey with a hot take, saying Anthony should no longer be allowed to do any tier lists with Milwaukee tools.
It's not true. That polisher is heavy.
They said what they said.
Heavy, it's unbalanced, it's ridiculous, and that trigger sucks. But I mean,
real detailers know
it's
not a great tool.
That's the beauty of these tier lists, though. It's opinions, man. Just because they feel one way about it doesn't mean you have to think and feel the exact same way. You can make your own tier list. It's fine.
It's just too heavy, that's all.
But what those tier lists are really helpful for is getting a sense of nuance, like why they feel that way. They go into detail in a 40-minute video explaining exactly why they feel the way they do about each one of those tools. Yep. So I think it was a really informative one, and I know a lot of people really enjoyed that. Joey Belinsky popping in to say, Anthony and I are wearing the exact same thing today. This is awkward.
That's too funny. It's too funny. One and the same.
Good shirt. Those ghost dusters, you know.
Those guys. I heard they got sucked up by a box
and
never followed up with the story. What's up with that, Dane?
They get back.
To be continued.
When? What year?
All it indicated was that it was snowing outside. There's no other indication as to the time frame.
Quick question, Levi. Serious question.
Yeah.
Are we doing the roof?
We're going to do the roof, but we don't have to clay it.
Do you want to clay? I mean, we can clay the roof if you want to clay the roof.
Can, if you want.
Let me see. Hold on. We'll do a quick pass here. Get some glare in here. I really like glare. Glare is really, really nice with the clay towel. I like it, especially if you have a little bit of water on the surface. What does it feel like on the wipe off, Levi?
Oh, fine.
I like it.
Right.
It smells good too.
It smells incredible.
Aaron Barr here saying, hey, TRC crew, which scan grip would be better to use outdoors? Some Match 4 or the Multi-Match R? Any input from the live chat's also appreciated. Thanks, and happy Friday Eve.
Use it outside? Like when you're detailing outside, or like going for a walk with your dog? Or
I would have to imagine when he says outdoors, he probably just means like in his driveway or something.
All right.
Unless he means something different, Aaron. Go ahead and follow up.
So I'm using a multi-match outside when it gets dark and I have to wash a car still. And I set it up on the tripod stand that they sell. And I light that up. And what it does is it lights up one side of the car. So that way I can see exactly what I need to wash. But then I have to add other lights to the other side. So in a perfect world, I would have two multi-matches on either side in the evenings, and then I could wash that way.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, for walking the dog and just having one, that multi-match, or the iMatch 3, the headlamp, holy crap, that is an amazing light.
The iMatch 3, I was not used to it at first because I was like, I don't like how this button design is. Now that I've kind of learned it and just how bright that thing is, oh my God, dude.
It's just a great all-purpose headlamp.
It is. It's amazing. It really is. Probably one of the best things that you can purchase for yourself, for your business, for around the house.
Yeah.
Typically, you should probably buy two, right? Have one on the charger. Exactly. Have one ready to rock and roll.
Oh, you guys are going to want to hear this.
PPF?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. What's that?
Timo 1000 popping in to say, your king cake will be delivered next week on Wednesday or Thursday.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got absolute in my mouth.
I thought you were drooling.
No, I clapped and it shot it right in my mouth. Gross. I don't know which camera is actually live. I'm guessing it's this one. This one? Oh, it's this one. No, I'm very excited about that. That's going to be super good. Thank you so much. Did we find the baby in the cake last time?
I think so.
I think we did find the baby in the cake.
And battery on here.
As long as we don't, as long as we don't.
Nobody chokes.
Eat the baby, we'll probably be fine. But no, the king cake is always delicious.
Sorry, it's going to be loud.
Ooh, okay, yeah, go. Quick. Yeah. A little bit of blow, a little bit of showing, right? Something like that.
There we go.
Dane, you can hit me with the next question. I'm going to try to do my best here.
It's actually just Force Induction Drive saying he's happy to see you. Your stepsister got you unstuck from the washing machine, so that's good.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny.
That was the unused
Kevin.
thumbnail for that washing video, but I'm glad he watched it.
Yeah.
It matters. I wonder if we're going to try showing that one too, but we'll have to wait and see. Craig Swent, do those Yeti buckets actually make a difference compared to a regular bucket?
They do, yeah. I think it's just the fact that they're probably double walled. Like we can't really confirm whether or not they're actually like legitimately insulated. I mean, we can cut it in half and probably prove that. It's just a thicker bucket, and we find that just the thickness alone has helped with keeping liquids much cooler. So or much cooler, much warmer, depending on what you put in there. But we like them, and they're also just extremely durable. Like that thing could probably survive the apocalypse. Realistically, you buy it once and it'll last you forever. And I also do like the bottom is rubberized, so it doesn't slide around at all or slosh when I'm kind of dragging it through the garage.
Sure.
But I have a white one. I wish I didn't have a white one. I wish I had a dark. I wish I had a dark gray one like this, because this looks way cooler in my opinion, and also it looks newer for longer. Where my white one is just
the white one's going to look tired pretty fast.
It's gotten
even
beat
if
up.
you treat them well, it gets beat up, it gets scratched, it gets bonked on stuff.
Yeah, I just got beat up, but I mean, I like them, but and they also have a strap on them, so and it's like a toe strap, so it's not like your typical.
Dense. They're really dense straps, so it's actually super durable.
It's never gonna break. I mean, whereas with a metal handle, sometimes they'll get bent up or sometimes they'll fall off. Like that's strapped on for pretty much ever. So we like them. We don't even sell them. But
people always latch on to that because there are people who have strong opinions about Yeti one way or the other, and some people just responding to that. But the reality is, like, you use them because you like them. But I think the double-walled element really is one of the determining factors that separates it from other buckets that we've used.
Well, you know what I'm ready for, Dane?
What you got?
You've heard of the Stanley cups, right? I'm ready for the Stanley. I'm ready for
we're
the
not going down that road.
limited drop Stanley metal buckets, powder coated. They would be so heavy. They'd be extremely dangerous.
They come with a giant straw on top.
Giant straw, right? Metal grit guard in them. Dude, it'd be badass.
No. Well,
right,
there would be some psycho out there who would pay any amount of money for that.
Probably, yeah.
Just crazy. Yeah.
All right, what do we got next on the questions while Levi finishes this up?
I've got Ivan Ramos here saying, hello, and happy Friday Eve. Can't thank you enough for all the help tips. As of lately, I've been able to put pen and paper to the test. I did my first headlight restoration yesterday, and it came...
Oh, it came.
Out...
Good.
Okay. He followed up. Question in regards to headlight restoration. When do you know when to use any sanding grit below 1500? I've noticed my headlights have some cracks or some type of peeling going on. How can I fix that?
So you're not going below 1500 unless you are legitimately, you're planning on removing all the clear coat. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, and there's a difference between a headlight that can be restored with the existing clear coat still on the lens, meaning that you are simply wet sanding down that kind of dead layer of clear coat on the top, that oxidized layer, then repolishing everything out. And then there is the point to which that clear coat has failed all the way down to bare plastic. And the only way that you're going to get a good restoration is getting down to the plastic itself. Now, there's always things such as microfracturing and cracking and all that kind of stuff that can happen in the polycarbonate that won't come out, right? So if you have cracking or type of fracturing on that outside of the lens, which we actually have a car over there that has that, which would be a good example to look at. I can actually, I'll just show you that right now.
There you go.
So come over here.
I'm gonna get the polisher set up, and so while they're setting up to show you guys the headlight, I'm looking at the fact that, like Anthony said, those biggest things, microfractures, like you're pointing at right there on top, Anthony.
So Here, I'll show them right here. This right here. So this right here, this clear coat is starting to go. This right here is very surface level starting to go. This could possibly be restored on just that outside layer of just basically just clearing it up. But to go for a full restoration, you're going down to bare plastic on this kind of particular set. But a good idea, look at this right here. This is micro cracking. This is fracturing right here. So you can actually see that. I don't know if that's picking that up on the camera, but that is what we call fracturing, micro cracking, that happens just due to heat and age and all of that. That does not come out. You could sand all day long, you could buff all day long. That's not coming out. That's literally all the way through. So that's what can't be fixed. Now, with that said, could these headlights still be cleared up? Yes. It just wouldn't be. They wouldn't be like a brand new set.
Okay. I will say that cloudiness at the very front that you pointed at.
Yeah.
That is something that you could drop below 1500. The rest of that headlight, though, where it doesn't have that extra level of ghosting that's on there, you want to be able to sand that down. You could hit with 1500 and then work your way back up, and you should be pretty good. It's only in those instances where you don't have it that you're literally going to get ready and you're going to drop below 1500 and go into something like 600 to really break through that layer and get it back.
600.
600.
I think the lowest I've ever gone is 800 on those Z3 headlights during the project car episode.
800 is safe for pretty much most people. 600 is like you better know how to pull out 600 sanding marks if you even pick up 600 sanding grip.
Well, you're gonna spend a long time getting it back to where you started. So yeah. All right. Next up. Oh, you guys got something?
I was going to say. So next, we've got the car washed. We've got it dried. We got it clayed. So the next step is we are going to give this just a general basic. This is my 20-minute one-step polish. However, instead of using Uno Protect, we're going to be using Uno Advanced. Now, for this car, I'd recommend probably going with the wool, the blue wool or the yellow wool. But because we haven't spent a lot of time working on this, and it is a daily driver, we're going to go with just the yellow foam. Yeah. And so Anthony's going to be using the Rupes yellow foam on the LHR or HLR 75. I'm going to be using a 15, and I'm actually going to be using the new Buff and Shine yellow wool with the edge guard, and we're going to put some Uno Advanced on.
Yellow foam.
Nice.
The yellow foam, sorry, not yellow wool. Yellow foam, and we're going to use Uno Advanced, and I'm just going to show you guys how we're going to blast through this. It's going to be quick. The cool thing about Uno Advanced, you put it on the car just like Uno Protect all the way around, let it sit. We're going to let it sit for about 20-30 minutes and then wipe it off.
I don't even let it sit for that long.
We aren't going to, but normally that's what we would do. So by the time we get around, we'll probably be right at about that 15-20 minute. We're just going to wipe it off and it'll be good. And then we will hit it with Inspiration Defender on top of that. Now, when I do this at home, for those of you that are wondering, the biggest thing that I do is I try to make sure that I leave it on the car overnight. So I'll leave Uno Advanced on the vehicle overnight, come back out in the morning, and then I will just give it a quick wipe down, wipe it off, and then I'll hit it with Defender. So a little bit different process than what I've done, than what I do at home by doing it so quickly here. But we want you guys to get the gist of how to apply it, how to use it, so you guys can kind of see this method. What I like about it is when I do that, this has nearly a year-long sealant in it, or ceramic in it.
It does, and it's
very strong.
It's very good on its own. Mm-hmm. I mean, Uno Advanced, for like, oh my God, sorry. That's which one? What's that, what do you call it? A trigger finger? Right?
Yeah.
Trigger happy.
Wow.
Happy trigger finger.
So it lasts plenty long on its own, and the water behavior is fantastic on its own. And this is something that most people can do and make a decent amount of money, offering customers, clients, even friends and families, just a good ceramic, a good little polish job that's going to last a decent amount of time. And this does have some pretty fantastic correcting ability as well.
And so my reasoning is it's got that 1 year protection. And then the thing that I like to add on it next is Defender gives you a few more months of strong protection, can last up to 9 months. And with those two kind of stacked, I get some really good protection. And I have my customers that do come back a year later after I've done this. I'm amazed. The water behavior is still the same. There's almost no issues. And they're literally running it through a car wash every week. So
Agreed.
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Dane, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. I got C4 Detailing HQ. Anthony might be familiar with this guy.
It's Chris. Yeah. What's going on,
guys,
dude?
if water is not accessible to use due to the freezing climates, what would be a good process for cleaning wheel, tire, and wheel wells?
Just watch the video about rinseless.
Steam is one thing that you can use. Rinseless is good. Gosh, I'm trying to think of what else would be.
Well, like the video I just shot with Jimmy, the Master Your Rinseless game.
Yeah, that's
it's
actually
literally
probably a
we
good
go and
place to-
show you exactly
good place to start.
how to wash wheels using rinseless wash.
Yeah.
And I go with a wheel cleaner. I do it with just rinseless, and then I do it with a wheel cleaner. And so you can still do everything. The key is to build this skill set because,
Viper chair?
dude, I had that happen where I had my water pipes freeze in my shop for 2 days. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Rinseless Wash, so you can look it up. But that's what happened here. We were working this week, and we had the water pipes freeze in here, and so we're doing this with a rinseless.
Great
They're
framing.
not
there,
frozen
guys.
right now.
Excellent job.
But
We have fun here, Dane. we haven't gone off track or had any type of, Levi, can I have that?
Oh,
Get,
sorry.
please.
Can you put
We
that
haven't
in the
we haven't gone off track or had any type of crazy conversations yet. I'm wondering if this is
No.
even a Q&A right now.
right?
No, it's because people are actually distracted by watching the detailing taking place.
Okay.
So that's just going to be noise on that end, but that's okay. I'm going to pop in and say Simon Birch here. It says Simon Bach, but we all call him Simon Birch. Saying Happy Friday Eve. We got that covered. And Simon is also following up. Now, I want you guys to stop your machines when you choose to answer this question, but you can keep working until then. Okay. So Simon Bach saying, or Simon Birch, what is the combo/solution that Ivan LaCroix uses for optimum MDR to remove salt during the winter? I can't remember what video I saw it in, but I think it was a TRC
It's
one.
an old one.
Yeah, that's a pretty old one, yeah.
So it's literally applying MDR on the sponge like a soap on the surface of the vehicle, almost like a wax, and then you wash it off with O&R and gloves on.
No, or was it a mixture? But it wasn't the same mixture as like the Optimum Clean and Protect. Not clean.
I don't
Clean
think it was a
Protect.
mixture.
But do you remember the Optimum Protectant Plus and
Yeah.
O&R? Was it a mixture of MDR and O&R?
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I don't know if Ivan would, maybe Ivan would answer you, but he'd probably give you the DIY alternative to that, which I wouldn't blame him. I don't know. I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about, and I can't remember what that exact mixture was. After all this time and all these products, you kind of start forgetting certain things. But yeah, hopefully you figure it out.
That's okay. You're sticking to what's relevant while it's new in your head there. I get it. Now, I've got this comment here from Frost732. Frost is saying, looks like Anthony has been spinning wrenches before the cleaning. Respect. I'm not quite sure if that's a euphemism for something or what, but I guess he's just saying you look like you're doing good. So, you know.
I don't know what that means.
I feel like he's implying something, and I honestly have no clue what he's trying to imply. Or maybe he literally thinks you've been spinning wrenches. For all I know, that could also be the case.
Spinning wrenches, okay.
If that's like new slang, that's not one I'm familiar with. That's something I haven't heard yet.
Okay.
Anyway, I got Jeff C here. Whew, that's a lot of noise. All right, you guys just go ahead and listen to me while I read this one out. Then stop your machine when it's time to answer. Jeff C is saying, I just wanted to mention how much I'm enjoying my DB36 coating from Diamond Protect. Just a quick pressure washer rinse and absolute wash is all I've needed to knock off the winter grime. No toppers, the self-cleaning itself is great. Okay, so that was actually just more of a comment than a question. But yeah, no, glad you're enjoying it, Jeff.
Chat. And pretty awesome. Literally just washing off his car with the pressure washer. And then showing the self-cleaning capabilities of Diamond Body 36. So
yeah. So if you guys are looking for that, Jeff frequently posts in the Rag Company Facebook group. So if you're looking there and you happen to be on Facebook, we've got a group. We'd love for you guys to join in there and share your own experiences, stories, whatever else you got. All right, moving along here. Lucas Sledge's band channel. Got me a gallon of Built Hamber Autofoam. Just waiting for all the weather to pass. Can't wait to see what it can do on salt. also got a gallon crystal wash to see if they can complement each other. Okay, cool. Then I've got David Boyce. David here is saying, am I mistaken? With each weekly podcast, it appears Anthony's hair gets redder and redder. Is it because he gets angry watching Marvel movies he doesn't like? Hashtag the Red Menace.
Yeah, so he's been getting a lot of gray hair. And so one of the things about that is he has been starting to color his hair. Because, you know, he's a little worried about his appearance. But, you know, we still love him, and we still love working with him, and we're not worried about the gray hair. Anthony, I just want you to embrace it.
All right.
But I do agree with you that my hair is looking quite a bit redder in all these different streams, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is there.
And let's see, next up, I've got Adrian Ramirez saying about to pick up a black Arteon. That's a Volkswagen, in case you don't know. It was the replacement for the Passat here in the U.S., essentially. The Passat CC, specifically. It kind of has that. Anyway, I do all my washes and would consider myself pretty adept at detailing/washing carefully. Should I full PPF or risk it with front PPF and coat everything else, say like with CSL?
Should I full PPF or risk with front PPF and coat everything else? So I mean, regardless, I would coat everything regardless, whether or not you're doing PPF or not. So I mean, like if you go to the latter option there, then I would still coat everything in something like Halo or something like Diamond Protex PPF coating. So have the PPF coated for sure, but I mean, full PPF, dude, it gets expensive, right? And
oh yeah,
I think that while yes, it can offer a lot of kind of peace of mind and whatnot, and I think it will do a good job of protecting. You know, weigh out the cost there, right? Also weigh out who's doing the job. Is the job going to be a good job or not? I don't know. It's kind of tough. I think the front for sure, but I'd probably say either, yeah, probably. If it was me, I'd probably do front and coat the rest.
Yeah, well, like my Jag, for example, the F-Type R I got that unfortunately wound up in that situation where somebody backed into it in a parking lot. It had PPF all along the leading edge, the front, and all on the hood. Everything there was covered, including some of the side parts, you know, on the haunches kind of area, but it wasn't a full body job. And even still, that cost, even back then, like when it was, you know, PPF'd, a couple of years ago now, it cost about like a shade under $3,000. So that's not even like a full PPF body job. That's just for like the front and tops of things in some key areas, which is probably what you're talking about here. But yeah, no, I agree with Anthony. I don't think you need to do full body PPF unless it's a car that you're truly like planning on keeping collector status. If it's a daily driver, okay, I can see just focus on the areas you know are going to get the most interaction with like rocks, pebbles, chips, all that kind of stuff. And the rest of it, you can coat it to protect from the elements, but of course, rock chips, coating isn't going to stop those. So that's where PPF is a strategic choice. But a full body one, I mean, you're paying like borderline paint job cost to cover some stuff in some cases. Anyway, moving along here.
I need Anthony to do the B pillars. You guys probably were wondering because you're seeing me move fairly quickly. Both of us are moving very fast around this. All we're literally doing is applying this product. So we are not going for a paint correction. This is just a quick polish. Now, what you can do is change the aggression of the pad and the product and spend just a little more time on the panel. So let's say, for instance, let's just say there was a scratch right here on the door. All I would do is let my machine sit on that spot just a little longer, and I would buff out that spot. But for the rest of the panel, everything is pretty good. And so all I have to do is actually just lightly apply the product onto the surface.
All right. Well, on that note, while they're polishing away.
Oh, sorry, Dane. This is what makes it such a quick, fast process for folks. And for those of you in your garage, because what you're actually doing is brightening the clear coat, because you're taking down all those rough edges and you're just smoothing them out. You're not correcting them. You're not doing a 2, 3, 4 stage process. You're doing a literally one step, one pad, one product. That's it.
All right. Well, next up here, I've got Simon Birch asking, how do you like the Zen tool polishers?
Zen tool, back in the day, I played with a couple different Zen tools, and I think they're totally fine polishers. I think that they're good. Never had an issue with them. I know Ivan brought over a couple. We played with those then. Played with a couple at a couple other shops.
It's been a long time.
It's not that I don't think that they're good polishers. I think that there's been other advancements in polishers, right, which has been fantastic, and I think there continues to be new advancements in polishers to where it's like I haven't really experienced anything new that they've come out with recently, if they have come out with anything new.
So
That's
basically, you wouldn't be upset if somebody handed you one, but it's not necessarily the first one you're reaching for, given
Right.
the option.
Yeah.
All right, I've got Kirby here. Afternoon, back from grocery run, like watching you clean and protect. Thank you for hitting that like button, Kirby. Let's see. Next up, I've got Franco out here trying to motivate himself. To get stuff like washing his Escape and his girlfriend's Civic. All
Nice.
right. Well, best of luck to you, Franco. Hopefully that does it. Also, Joey popping in with our very famous line from the Absolute little commercial skit we did. That was fun. Absolute is not for oral consumption. I agree. Don't do that. Simon saying Dane's still trying to make Anthony drink Absolute. Yeah. No. Look out for that. All right, we've got Ivan Ramos here saying, picked up my first scan grip light, Unimatch. I know it's not the best scan grip, but it does the job for me. What would you guys recommend for a sister partner for my headlight?
So you got a Unimatch headlamp or a Unimatch, is that? I'm a little confused as to what the Unimatch is, I'm sorry. I'm assuming it's the headlamp. If you have the headlamp, the next one to get would be either the multi-match or the smaller multi-match that's almost like a handheld. It's more rectangle square. Because in reality, if you're working with just the headlamp its own, it's actually really good. It's one of those things that like I really like that tool, and I find myself only really ever using the headlamp. So I'm assuming that's what you got there.
Yeah. Then I got Aaron Barr here saying, or Bauer, back to my scan grip question, which one would be better for paint correction?
The headlamp, for
That
sure.
is kind of your guys' first go-to.
Yeah, because that's
before
what you get to
anything
look
else.
at. That's what you're seeing, because you're able to literally have it right here and it can hit exactly where you're looking. Too many times we try to add light in different angles and spots that we don't need it. You know, we're fortunate because we have this, but in my garage I have my lights that run across the hood and I can use them as a guide to see where I'm at. But reality is, see if I'm getting the true correction, it's right where I'm looking, right? I've got light exactly where I need it to be in front of my eyes.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, it's all about not having to worry your hands holding a, you worry about holding the polisher, the head will hold the light for you, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Joey here, back to the Stanley Buckets conversation, just pointing that one out.
Stanley
Buckets. Yeah, Dan saying he prefers when things are strapped on, quoting Anthony Fisher there, very helpful. Breaking news, this just in, Home Depot is selling Milwaukee wallpaper. Now, why would Milwaukee...
Nice. Milwaukee branded
that?
wallpaper.
Okay, that's
Very
news
nice.
to me. Unless it's just like literally wallpaper that has the Milwaukee brand like diagonally plastered
It might
all
be,
over
Dane.
or
It's
something.
for those backdrops,
It's a novelty thing. Yeah, you can make
backsplashes
a cool
on your
looking
workbench.
background. Oh, or put it behind like your big tool wall. Yeah, I can see somebody getting away with that. Next up, I got Simon Birch here. I'm all in on that Stanley metal bucket. I don't care. Take my money.
I mean, I'd be so heavy.
It would be very heavy.
So heavy. And I can only imagine, like, you accidentally hit the car with it, just do a massive amount of damage.
Just smack
But
it.
it would be pretty
Well,
fun.
before the popularity of plastic buckets, metal buckets aren't exactly hard to come by. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see it. But a double-walled metal bucket, insulated and all that stuff, ooh. Yeah, that's fancy.
Think of those warmo and our wash or rinseless washes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a
time.
Stanley bucket would be able to truly
Keep
do
it
that.
warm. Keep it real
Truly do that. I mean,
Kevin
Especially if you had
here.
a cap that looked like the old thermos lids, like a bigger another bucket on top.
No, well, you know how they have their lids.
They
like a little spot
progressively
for a straw,
smaller
right?
buckets.
It's a spot
in
for
the
your
top.
hand. You slide the thing and stick your hand in, and then you
Very
pull
nice.
things out.
Okay,
Right?
Stanley, if you're listening.
It's how you fight off the hypothermia and everything. But anyway, I got Kevin here saying, if not already done, smash the like button. Thanks for answering our questions and have a good day. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks,
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, now moving down the line, you guys go ahead and work on your next bit.
We're
I'll get
waiting
through
for
these
this to
comments
set
here.
up.
It's like watching paint
okay.
dry right now.
Literally what it is we've got now that it's on the vehicle, like I said, we didn't do anything on top of the PPF. We're going to leave that alone. But the rest of the car is set. We're just going to let it sit for a little while longer,
right.
probably about another 5 minutes, and we'll just wipe it off. So,
Well, not to worry, because I've got Kirby here saying, you can love on that Yeti, but the better value is the water coolers. Just a bit small for a grit guard, but that can be fixed.
I can see that.
All right, shave off the corners or something. Jay's Car Channel popping in and saying, happy Friday Eve, bros. Love to see you guys demo a one-step with Uno Advanced. Didn't Anthony once come up with a combo between Uno Protect and Beatmaker?
Was that me or was it?
I think they might be
It's,
mistaken. It
highly
definitely wasn't
touted.
Anthony who
Highly
came up
touted.
with that. Definitely not.
Couldn't have been me. It was,
Not
definitely,
Anthony,
I think it was
no.
Morgan and you and
I think it was Morgan.
Yeah, it was
you.
Morgan. Morgan deserves the credit, especially since she's not here. So,
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Let's see. Another breaking news. Anthony has purchased all the Milwaukee wallpaper. Oh, well.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I mean,
You did say you were going to get
Here
it. You were a
today,
sucker.
gone today.
I said as long as the polishers aren't on there, I'll definitely, I'll definitely hang that in my garage. But
Easy peasy.
Now,
Other than
Kirby shouting out the camera crew because he noticed we're using new cameras today.
Very
To the
nice.
camera crew, excellent lighting and image quality. You could almost count all the gray hairs in Levi's beard.
That's a market distinction. Is
Yeah.
what that is.
Look how
That's what that is.
refined
It
he
literally
is.
shows exactly what you need right in there.
the way I see it was we're taking things to the next level. We're also keeping things relatively close to home, right? And
Right.
simple. You're just hanging out with us, but now you're doing it in 4K, ultra high quality. And if you reach to your
Cinema
TV
level
screen, you
quality.
can touch our faces.
Yeah. Ow. It just poked me.
Kirby also saying another tip for warm water is using a bucket submersible heater. Just remove
Yeah,
when
that's true.
using the bucket. Now that's a fun idea.
The PPF guys like to use a sous vide system.
Yeah, you can
And
do
they'll
the
just add a
sous
sous
vide.
vide little heater in there, and that way it keeps the water warm.
Yeah.
And if you get hungry, you got the solution right there. So,
Yeah.
makes it easy. Harry Housewife here saying, love these style videos. Just stick it on the TV and watch.
Oh,
Well, this
thanks,
is
buddy.
a live, so, it'll be a video later, but for right now, it is literally a live stream.
Yeah.
All right, Gregory here. What kind of clear coat would you suggest to respray headlights with? I know the answer to this one, but
Oh,
Anthony,
Dane's got
you're
it.
the fan. I will say 2K clear is what Anthony would generally recommend. That's what I would recommend. However, there's a better solution, I think, than using a clear coat spray. What do you think that would be, Anthony? What have we
know,
tried
Dane.
that we actually liked better than using clear coat?
Well, technically, it's something that's easier to replace. It's something that potentially could even last longer.
It's less
and that-
mess, and you don't have to go through the whole headlight correction process again if you do this step.
It's true, and that's just paint protection film is what that is. Basically, you're going to get that headlight to where it is. I mean, I'm talking like a 4K clarity, 8K clarity. Once you get to your perfectly finished result, get it PPF'd. Whether you feel comfortable doing it or taking it down to a shop, pay them. Typically, shops might charge anywhere from $80 to a couple $100 to do the job, and it's totally worth it. I mean, nothing makes a car look good like clear headlights. I mean, that's going to be the first thing that's going to improve a car, or in the case of this car over here, right, make it look absolutely horrible. I guarantee you,
It's like car glaucoma.
if that Hyundai, what is it called?
It's a Tiburon.
Tiburon
It
GT,
means
right?
shark.
The Tiburon GT over there, right?
That shark's got cloudy eyes,
brain
like a
fart.
Greenland shark.
If it had crystal clear headlights, I guarantee you that car wouldn't look that bad. But because it is absolutely
They're real
hammered
yellow and real crusty.
and real
so-
yellow, it looks way worse than what it should
So
It's
I'll
the
just say
first
this:
thing
I did
you'll wanna
headlights
fix.
on a friend of mine's car
Yeah.
this weekend on both his cars. One of his cars had headlights like that, like the Tiburon, His other car had headlights like this Bolt. Had a couple little spots I needed to touch up, but nothing bad. When he was done, after I finished restoring both of them, he came down here to the MVP Detail Supply store here on the property,
Yeah.
the Rag Company factory store. They're now cutting PPF
Oh, fun. Yeah.
for those folks local, and they literally installed and cut those patterns for his cars and installed PPF for him.
Yeah.
I charged him $50-$60 a head for the headlights for each car, so I made about $100.
Yeah.
Then he came down here and scheduled an appointment with them, and then they threw on the PPF for him.
Jeez.
And that was it. And now his headlights are protected,
Good deal.
restored and protected.
All right, Simon Birch here saying, I recall it being a mixture of water or O&R with MDR. Okay, so he's talking about that mix that Ivan used to do. So, I mean, that was an option. I would say there's definitely other stuff you can do these days, but hey, whatever floats your boat, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got Kirby here. Kirby with the same advice we just gave, but hey, it's good to have it there as well. Best not to use clear coat. Use a ceramic, or better, use PPF.
So here's something with this little car. As we're wiping off our marks, our polish stuff, noticing a lot of little light water spots that are in this vehicle.
Yeah.
And these are the dealership installed water spots or previous owner installed water spots.
Those are the best ones. Those are the ones that are the hardest, usually the worst ones to get out, because you go, how are these not coming out? It's a new car.
But again,
Because
this
they
car
were baked in for a long time.
Very long.
yeah, so we don't know the history of that, but we do know that because it's not nearly as noticeable, if Nick goes to a point where he wants to get this car fully coated on his, get this car fully coated and all that, that's something where we would then remove the water spots, or something that if this was a detail, we'd be charging a little extra for to get those water spots off. But if this is a base level, just a quick exterior polish and seal, we could be charging upwards of $300 just for the outside of this, and in some states probably even more than that for what we're doing. So try to remember that looking at those water spots and going, would you like to get those out? It's probably going to be a two-step where we're going to have to maybe apply a compound or something to get those out, or we're going to have to chemically remove them, which is going to in turn cause some things that we may have to polish back out. So always try to keep that in mind. Like I said, this is what the purpose of this is, to just get some good protection on it for the winter. You know, it's a car that is driven every day, and we want to make sure that it is protected and taken care of until he's ready to actually get it coated, you know. So.
And to be fair to the viewers at home who may not be able to see it, it is very difficult to see those spots on a car that is cement gray, essentially.
Yeah.
So it does a very good job of hiding it from the camera.
It does. You can't even, I didn't even notice it till I started wiping, and I was like, wait a minute. So.
Yep.
Harry Housewife here making a comment on that spinning wrenches thing, which I have now learned what it means from some folks down here. Spinning wrenches. Maybe it's because the oil splatters on the shirt look so real.
Oh, I see.
I like
So
that.
Super Auto says, I think he meant that Anthony's shirt looks like it has grease all over it. And then Adrian follows up and says, spinning wrenches means mechanic work. The shirt style looks like it's got grease/oil stains. And then Frost, who made the original spinning wrenches comment, says, spinning wrenches equals hard underhood work. It's an extreme compliment.
There you go.
Well, in that case, that shirt's
Thank
just a kind of a stolen
I think-
valor situation.
Underneath this hood, it's just it's just a
man.
battery, right?
It's just a frunk.
Yeah.
So
Keep in mind, I
let's
think
see.
we still have a couple of these shirts left in stock.
I think we do.
I can't remember. You'd have to check the website. I know I saw a couple in the back room there hanging on the shelf. And so if they're still on the website, dude, it's a cool shirt. It's very comfortable. I've worn this probably like 50 or 60 times. Maybe not 50 times. Maybe a good 20 times, 30 times.
Okay.
And this thing still actually feels better than it did new. Yours
No, that's
too?
nice.
No, I never got one that, I got a normal.
Oh, you got a
Gray
normal.
shirt.
He got the normal, the original
I
edition.
got a next level normal gray.
Well,
Kind of a gym style
Gotcha. Yeah.
gray shirt.
Now, David here saying he's late. Can he get a quick recap? Dane, how's the Jag going? Still in pieces / totaled? No, not totaled. It is being repaired in Salt Lake City as we speak. So I'm told it'll be done by the end of the month. We'll see if that actually happens. But until then, I got nothing new to report. I'm just waiting on them. All right. Then I'm following up with In Focus Photography.
Well, hold on. You didn't finish the rest of what we're doing.
Well,
David,
what's
we
that?
just finished washing this with Absolute, did a rinseless wash on it. Then we just polished it out with Uno Advanced and the new yellow Buff and Shine EdgeGuard pad. Yes. And now we've wiped off the Uno Advanced after waiting a little while. And now we're going to top it with Advanced, PNS Inspiration Advanced.
Levi,
Defender, sorry.
Do you notice that Advanced gets slicker with time?
Yes, it does.
It gets way slicker.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because the wipe off, you go,
Not too bad.
pretty good. But then you give it 5-10 minutes, you walk around again, take your towel to it, and you just go, oh God,
and that's one of the reasons,
good.
like when I'm at home, I try to give this as much time to breathe.
Yeah.
And let it sit. And so I'll do the wipe off, and then I'll go into something like doing the tires, doing the wheels, cleaning the windows, doing that kind of stuff, and let it just let it off gas the rest of the way, let it really hit its stride. And then what I usually do is wipe it down with Advance right before the customer comes to pick it up.
Yeah.
That way I've given the car at least an hour to really chill out and relax, and then I can hit this down with that and give it just a once over, just to make sure also, this is my insurance. This is to make sure that I didn't miss anything, make sure that I don't have a spot that maybe I forgot to wipe off compound or something. So.
Do you guys, quick question to you guys watching, do you guys like all the movement of all 4 cameras that we have running?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Do you like the...
Yeah, what do you think of the new setup?
If you could prefer, that's probably an easy question. If you could prefer one static camera to where it didn't move at all, it just stayed right here and we just talked and washed, or 4 moving cameras that get really fancy shots, what do you prefer? Let us know in the comments. I'm actually really curious to see.
Yeah, we'll find out from people actually
like this kind
watching
of setup.
in real time.
Levi, can I get a couple spritzes of that over here?
Yeah. Hold on, let me get this front.
You're
here.
good. Laying on the Defender.
All right. In Focus Photography. Love to be detailing. Arctic temps out and calling for 3 to 5 inches tonight. I can't wait till spring. My semi-heated garage can only get up to about 56 degrees. Oh.
That's not bad. Just grab what you do. Here's what you do. Grab another space heater. Mm-hmm. Get a small floor fan or just a fan, a box fan even, and get that fan moving that air around.
Yeah.
And put it near that space heater, and that space heater is going to start blowing warm air into the garage, and that'll help warm up that garage a little more. And you'll get up to about 62, maybe 64, 65 degrees.
That's conservative estimate.
That's really good to work in, because if you think about it, you're going to start moving around, you're going to get hot.
Yep.
Well,
So-
and yeah, the other thing is the heat will be localized to wherever you're placing that. So just put it in the area that you plan to be working the most. Don't set it far away and then wait for it to fill the whole room. Just focus in the area that you're actually working. Or if you want to go
that's a good
crazy, you could just go the Anthony method, although that's a little less safe than a space heater, I think.
What? A propane heater?
Your insane Mr. Heater thing that you plug into a propane
It's the
tank.
best thing I've ever bought,
You're just
Dane.
filling your garage with gases.
Dane, I crack it on occasion just to reduce the chance of carbon monoxide poisoning.
And where does that go?
It just vents outside. It's fine. Everybody should get that Mr. Heater. It's like the 360, what's it called? Propane top heater. That thing puts out so much freaking heat.
It's a lot.
insane, dude.
It is a lot. So, I mean, if you're in a hurry, it definitely does speed things along, but it may be a bit too much for some people.
But you could get it done with a little space heater, a normal ceramic space heater.
Absolutely. Grant Hawtrey here next. In his spare time, Anthony dresses up as Milwaukee Man. Looks just like Duff Man, but with Milwaukee instead.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys have to understand that I
Kool-Aid Man
love
style energy.
Milwaukee tools, and I have quite a few Milwaukee tools, but I'm not like a
You're not in the
crazy-
cult, though.
I'm not in the cult, but you know who is in the cult? Gabe Garcia. Works here. He is 100%. He has cake.
He wants to name his. They're having another child.
Yeah.
He wanted to name that
The child Milwaukee. And I
Well,
said,
if he had a
"That's
daughter, he could name her like Millie and get away with it.
And I said, this is getting ridiculous, Gabe. You know what he has? Okay. You know how like in a garage you could display some tools? Like I totally get somebody displaying like your 1/2-inch impact wrench, you know, maybe your electric ratchet and all sorts of other cool tools, right? He has his freaking batteries on display. He displays his batteries on his pegboard, right?
Well, and what's crazy is it's almost a shadow
He
box.
displays the batteries. Like
created
that's
like
ridiculous. Look at it. There he is. He's caught in 4K. He is. Why do you display your batteries? It's ridiculous.
This is false.
You know, it's true. It's true.
Hey, Anthony, he was shopping for brass shadow boxes, like a trophy case.
To put his battery in. I said, you know,
His batteries.
this makes it unusable, Gabe.
Yeah.
And so what's funny though, he said, I asked him what the reasoning was, and he said because he goes, have you ever bought a Milwaukee battery? I said, yeah, they're freaking expensive. He goes, there's my point.
Exactly.
Right, I want to show it off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what happens when you buy a $250
All I know is
battery.
I've been enjoying that new Flex Life
You have been enjoying
with
the Flex Tools
with a
life.
Flex drill and driver combo.
So, I mean, what do you think?
24 volts.
What do you think of Lowe's
Rapid charger?
The Lowe's home improvement answer to Milwaukee.
That's beautiful.
Do you like it?
I do. I'm literally thinking about now that I've
Become a Flex
thinking about
user?
get my taxes back.
Yeah.
You know, spend a little bit of that tax rebate money
Really?
upgrading the Flex family of tools.
What tool do you think you would get next to really complete things?
Well, that's the problem. I don't really need anything.
Because you were a Ryobi or a DeWalt guy.
DeWalt.
DeWalt's at fault. You know what they say.
Let me see that spray there at the back of this here.
I'm sure some DeWalt fans would have some
Anthony,
fighting words
let me get
about that.
I've never even heard that line before. I just made that up.
You just made that up. You know what
I
they
think.
say? Wow.
I've never heard it before.
Enjoy your lawsuit. Okay, so anyway, David Cervantes says, in focus, I'm in the same boat. 3 to 5 inches forecasted for today. Back into the negatives tomorrow. My truck is so filthy. Yeah.
Did we do the
I'm
hood,
sorry,
Levi,
bud.
and the
Yeah,
front bumper?
I already did the hood. I need to get this side of the roof, and the back has been sprayed.
Did you do the front bumper?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Oh, hey, Levi, this is a good question from Kirby.
Okay.
Can Levi comment on the new style of pad from Buff and Shine? Any noticeable difference with the edge guard?
Well, how
I
do I
find-
say this? It is good to have. I am still getting the hang of that pad. That's the best way I can
The
explain it.
use of the
use
style of that
the
pad?
style of it, the way it moves, and just the profile and shape of it. Because for years I've always tried to stay away from edges, so I find that I can drive myself farther in. Like Dane, I can drive into the corners a little quicker, a little deeper when I'm
There you
hitting
go.
those
Yeah.
apexes.
Well, on snow
Well,
tires.
it's like buffer
snow
bowling,
tires.
right? It takes the danger out of it, which is appealing.
Yeah.
But for somebody with your amount of muscle memory and your amount of like past while worrying about that, having the kamikaze backing plate and all that stuff, I get why it's a little different for you. Now I'm curious with Anthony when he's used them, what he thinks because he's coming at it from more of an enthusiast angle.
Well, I like the fact that you can center a pad faster. I do like that aspect of it.
Yeah, that
You don't have
helps.
to think about it; it's fast.
I
for sure.
also love the fact that I've had actually no delamination issues with
That is a big one.
the hook and loop, and
That's actually one of the big design improvements there is
Well-
the fact that you're essentially eliminating that, whereas
And
other
that's-
pads can still suffer from that.
because that's when I throw away pads. The second I start
Yeah.
seeing into a delamination, even the start of it, or even I start seeing a separation of like foam cracking, where basically the hook and loop is, I'll just be like, dude, it's not worth it, right? Because it's not that a pad can just magically just rip off in just a quick second. I mean, it'll start working its way, down, and it start building up a lot of heat, and eventually you'll have a tear off. But it'll happen. It's just. Yeah, I don't like that because I've also had it to where I've had a machine shift on me off of the hook and loop, and that's been scary because again causing damage. But I will say, if you guys remember the story about when I was polishing a Subaru, like whatever it was a year ago, and I was polishing around the exhaust. He had a brand new Tomei titanium Extreme exhaust on it.
I remember that phone call.
I was polishing downwards towards the bottom of the bumper, and just a freak thing, backing plate hits the top of the exhaust, and you would think it couldn't do anything to titanium, and it totally nicked the titanium and took the color off of the burnt tip. And that exhaust was literally brand new. It had like 100 miles on it. And I was like, holy crap, dude, that sucks. But like, what could have prevented that? Honestly, this edge guard would have prevented that. It wouldn't have happened.
It would.
Normally, I would never hit anything with a backing plate, but freak accidents happen. I think we can all admit we've hit something with a backing plate and been like, oh wow, we got lucky.
No matter how good
right?
you are, it could happen to anybody.
It just happens.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, the fact that you can center automatically is amazing. The fact that you have, like we're saying, this is the edge guard portion right here. And the fact that it cuts in and cuts out here, this profile,
It's beveled.
like we said, allows you to go into those corners. So let's say if you follow me over, let's say we're trying to get up under here. Normally, we would be bouncing off the bottom of this as we get up under the mirror here. But we don't have that with these pads. We're still getting the ability to work. Same with the door handles and stuff. You know, we're able to get in a lot safer around those edges that we need to buff because of the fact that we have this edge guard. So it does protect the vehicle a little bit better. And again, the fact that you are centered means that that pad's going to oscillate properly, and you're not going to have some vibration or wiggle or anything because you didn't center your pad properly. So
well, and if you're just
one of the
getting
neat
into
things about
polishing,
it.
these feel like a no-brainer for somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a great way to start out. Exactly.
It takes a lot of the danger out of it. It's kind of an insurance policy, so it's nice that it exists for sure. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay, you guys are going to need free hands because you got to clap. David Cervantes with $9.99.
All right, David.
Super chat, my friend.
Very nice.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
He says he wants to use the super chat to purchase another hello, hello, hello. Oh, I can do that, David, of course. Hello, hello, hello. There you go. All right.
We got people to do nothing but purchase hellos.
I'm going to turn into one of those
do?
horrible NPC streamers on TikTok or something.
No, Dane,
I
here's
just
what we
think
do.
they pay money and they go, hello, hello, hello.
Here's
that
my
would
idea.
be so bad.
Dane ringtones.
Oh, no, don't do that.
$10.
I would have to come up with
Download
new
for your
versions
phone.
of hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Hola, hola, hola.
Hola, hola, hola.
Different
Hello,
language.
hello, aloha.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Hello,
something.
hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi.
Buongiorno.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, boy.
love
Okay, moving on from that. Thank you for that horrible idea, David. Simon Birch saying, Dane trying to ruin my bank account with buckets. I had trolleys, no problem with the weight. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
no, that works. Happy Friday Eve from Hans. Nice to see the guy
Hans,
here.
Hans, how are you?
Hey. And then I got David saying, every gray hair is 100 years of wisdom.
That's
Actually,
what they say.
that's how we get up to the 900 some odd years of experience that Levi has.
Yes.
Well, I don't have just 9 gray hairs.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we work on it. It's like little regions
Yeah.
of Ivan here is saying, yes, guys, headlamp.
Yes,
The
okay.
Scan Grip Unimatch
Yep.
is the new headlamp added to the Scan Grip family.
Yeah,
Yes.
so then I would say getting the next multi-match, the little one, the mini match
Yeah.
R is a good one
All right.
to add to
Then
that.
I've got Lucas Ledge's band channel. What y'all excitement level on DIY details 25mm DA they're working on?
Haven't seen anything.
Haven't seen it.
So we'll just have to find out whenever it drops.
It's a 25 millimeter DA.
I don't know.
That'll be interesting.
I
Okay.
rarely use a 21 anymore.
Yeah, you guys are
I
always
don't
using
even- I don't
15.
even-
So I don't know why.
Like I don't even 25.
Well,
Yeah.
let's think about it. When it comes to DIY with Ivan's influence, because he has the bus, it makes more sense for someone who's working on stuff like that every day.
Absolutely.
There's a reason
I'm cool
for
with
it.
the
There's always a
25 for
method.
that. But if you're working on cars like this Bolt, a 25 is extreme overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a method to his madness.
Yeah,
So.
there's a purpose there. David saying, them standing around at the time reminds me of Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands. Then Gregory says, thank you for helping him on his comment here. Simon saying, what other solution to pre-treat salt using a spray solution during the winter?
So, like Anthony said, use an APC. That's usually your best bet. unless you're going to use an actual product that's designed to remove salts and magnesium chloride and things like that in the winter. But we've always found that either just an APC or a waterless wash works really well at neutralizing that. So,
Agreed.
And Simon's got a follow-up here. Seeing Anthony drinking while talking about mechanical work reminds me, Gallo 12 or Gallo 24?
Nice.
Ah, yes.
it's a good line.
Kirby. Dane bought the mini miners on the last sale. When did they go edgeless? My older ones were stitched, so he had an overlock stitch border on his old ones.
We don't know, honestly, Kirby.
Yeah,
The mini miners
The
went
mini miners
edgeless?
apparently went.
I don't
edgeless
recall the
at
mini
some point.
miners doing that.
I don't either. So
I don't recall them going edgeless either, unless there is some change that nobody told us about, which
sometimes happens.
sometimes happens. Yeah.
All right.
All right, then I got Jay. Oh, you guys got to clap again.
Hey, another $10 from Jay's Car Channel saying shout out to Super Chats.
That's how it's
Very
done,
nice.
folks.
Thank
Very
you,
nice.
sir.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir. All right. Okay. Responses to your camera talk. Harry Housewife saying, I think it's great. Saying movement.
Nice. Thanks.
Simon popping in to say the setup and camera movement is dope. Seriously, insane quality. I agree.
Nice.
It better be. Those are some seriously nice cameras
Yeah.
and lenses. Joey here, depth of field looks amazing on the new setup. Well,
Nice.
that has a
Well,
lot
thank
to
you.
do with the type of cameras they are compared to what the type of cameras were on the old setup.
Yeah. We're running
all right.
Z cams for those of you that are wondering.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar, they are a cinematic style camera, so very modular, and yeah, you get, well, a cinematic look. Imagine that. All right. You nearly drop it there. Camera movement is great, says Neil White. All right.
Thanks, Neil.
David
Appreciate
popping
it.
in saying, I like the old school Stacy David's Gears vibes I'm getting from the multiple camera angles.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a good one. Well, Gears vibes.
Simon saying, much appreciated on my TV, which is an OLED 65-inch 4K. Well, that's
Nice.
definitely going to look better on there. than
Literally
the old setup
blocking
did,
me
I
in
think.
front of the camera.
Yeah, speaking of blocking, you know, for those who in the know and understand what that's all about.
Get out of my
here-
camera shot.
David's saying, those propane heaters aren't that bad for carbon monoxide. My boss used to use those at the body shop when the heater went out and they needed to get a job done.
Nice.
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Just got to be careful. That's all.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
prevention.
I mean, I'd rather be a little cold than, you know, passed out and dead on the floor. So just my own personal take. Now we got Ivan here saying, adding to my putting pen to paper test and using all the helpful tips you guys provided, I was able to take a 20-year-old dull oxidized paint and bring back the awesome gloss with Rupa's fine polish
Nice.
Nice.
Good job, man.
Nice.
and a yellow Rupa's fine pad.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very
Okay,
cool.
excellent. And Lakes Country Detailer, loving the new studio camera setup.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
We are
Appreciate
definitely
it.
liking it too. Then we got David here saying, speaking of tool cults, Snap-on Gang. Not going to buy their half-inch high torque, but their other power hand tools are, well, chef's kiss.
Very nice.
All right. And I'm on page 1, so I'm cruising through these. If you guys got anything you want to add, I can certainly swwitch over to you. But
Well, no,
I've got
basically,
a handful of them here.
so this thing is, I don't know if you guys are being able to notice, but it's getting really glossy.
How's that feel
that's-
to the back of the hand touch?
It's
now?
very slippery. But
Yeah.
one of the things about this combo is I'm amazed at the amount of gloss that it provides,
Yeah.
especially on older normal daily driver cars. It's
Yeah.
surprising how much gloss it actually provides. So
Yep.
Ivan saying,
true.
helpful tip from Mrs. Leviticus, resident of Boise, Idaho, of over 900 years. Then we got Carly here saying, we're using our tax money for what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think she'd notice, huh? Then Joey,
just an idea.
Yeah,
just an idea.
Joey says, I heard another Disney
Yeah,
trip."
that's already in the plans.
And then she replied, that is correct.
Yes, that is. We've literally been looking. We're already planning the next
Already
one.
playing the next one. Nice.
Yeah.
Then we got a hello from Simon and a smile from Franco and Rick Smith here with a comment. I need to order some RTR. Should I wait for a little warmer weather? I don't have to right now. I'm just planning ahead. All
Need to
right.
order some rags to
Rags to riches.
Order.
Yeah.
Order it whenever. Order it whenever you want.
I mean, it's a detergent, so order it when you need detergent. Pretty simple there. Demo with a good point, though. So far, we haven't had any crazy close-ups of Anthony, and I do feel like that's been
the
missing.
zoom-in close-ups
That is
of
something
Anthony.
that's
I don't think the cameras have a
special
zoom on them.
request.
I don't think they do.
They could manage, something. But anyway,
We'll see if
that
that ever
cinematic quality.
happens.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Wow, how dignified. Super Auto saying, what, no slop dog area in the new detailing studio? It's the same old detailing studio, but the cameras have changed.
The cameras
now
just
we're
make
getting
it
a
look
taste
new.
of
That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
That's right. Alex G here saying, what is your favorite exterior and interior dressing?
What's yours?
Exterior and interior. So, man, I really do like PSS. I do think PSS is pretty fantastic. Interior, I'm a big
It's a Coach
fan
Chemi product.
of, PSS is Coach Chemi. Interior, I'm also a big fan of Coach Chemi's Top Star. Love Top Star. Oh, man, I also really like Swift though too. I've become a Swift lover as well.
Nice.
He's a Swiftie,
Yeah.
all right.
So
Swift I don't like to use too much though. Like basically what I have is the other day what I did is I did just a quick O&R wipe down, just get the dust off, right? And then on my I still use the towel, sprayed some O&R into it, got it damp, and then did one spray of Swift.
I like that.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's light. It's a nice light application because Swift can get a little build-uppy, from time to time.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with Anthony. Although for exteriors, the other one I really like that is extremely versatile is Gumi by Stiarnagloss.
You love that
I
Gumi.
really do.
You're
It's
a
good
Gumi guy.
product. It's a really good product.
Yeah, we know a guy whose actual name is Gumi.
Yeah, we also
It's
know
true.
that guy.
He's
Next
built like a
question.
Viking. All right, Simon here saying, good night, folks. Have an amazing weekend.
Thank you, Simon. We appreciate it.
You too. And then Ivan, sorry, guys, I meant to say Mr., not Mrs. Well, it's funny because when you said it, it was before we got a comment from Carly, and then she immediately followed it. So I guess you just summoned. Let's see here. We got Rick here. I was wondering about freezing issues with Rags to Riches.
Yep. So freezing issues if you're leaving it outside, but why wouldn't you just keep it with your laundry stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if it's in the... I think you might
you're talking
mean
about
during
shipping it?
transit when shipping. Yes.
It depends. We could say yes, and then it arrives and it might be frozen. But
We don't know the circumstances
we could say
of its
it's
travel
fine,
to you.
but here's what we'll tell you. It can freeze and thaw. It is fine that way. It's after a couple freezes and thaws. That's when it starts to separate a little bit. And in that instance, that's when you shake it up a lot to try and remix
Yeah,
it.
you shake it like a
Pretty much
Polaroid
it.
picture, and then you got it. All right, David here saying that close-up of Anthony needs to be added to all podcast intros from now on.
I don't know if it does.
Great idea, David.
Simon says, I reckon Gumi is from Ireland.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Detail Island in Iceland.
Yeah, it's a very cold island.
Yeah.
In Focus Photography, I'd love to clean my Honda where the wife's exploring the garage, but the Camaro is tucked away in there and doesn't move until spring. Well, if you're limited on the space, you got to do
Just
what you
build
gotta
the bigger
do.
garage.
I understand. Yeah, that's the easy, affordable
Get
solution
a
to
mobile
all
tent solution
problems.
out in the driveway.
I like that too.
Get yourself a mobile tent
Little
solution.
heater.
So you know how there's people that buy those mobile paint spray booths,
You can
right?
but you can buy them at Costco.
No, but you know what I'm talking about, the paint booths that are
Yeah,
mobile,
but you
like they
can
blow
buy
up.
it like the
You
fake.
do that, but
He
now it's
means
just
like a
your-
hospital tent, essentially, where it's got
Yeah.
the walls and the
No, you can get
door
those
on the front.
Dane, you can get those at Costco.
Yeah,
Dane
you
might
can.
need one for his terrace where he's going to be starting to park his new cars.
Ooh, what I'd
Wow.
like though is maybe just build one of those on the deck, so he's got
Yeah.
a covered structure.
Well, and then he can start serving people.
Yeah,
He can start eating.
hang some lights,
on Dane's
string some
deck,
lights
yeah.
up there.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
And then I'll ask him, like,
Okay.
what are you serving people? He goes, my HelloFresh meals. You guys would have loved it. Dane told me earlier today that he thinks Instacart is ridiculous and that nobody should pay somebody to go do your shopping for you. And I go, Dane, you literally order from HelloFresh. And he goes, that's not the same. And I said, Dane, you have a lawn guy. He's like, that's not the same. There's different size lawns. You guys.
It's Home Chef, not HelloFresh.
Oh,
but yeah.
whatever the heck it was, Dane. There's so many of them.
I know.
You can't
Most
keep
of
up.
them are not about it. But, it's just for dinners. Everything else is handled. Anyway, we're way off topic. Can you guys please do one more walk around of the car, pointing out some of the key areas you worked on? Because we're kind of low on comments right now. So I want to see a little
Here you
walk
go.
around, and then we'll wrap this
So
up.
Levi's got that side. I got
Look at
this
that.
side.
This is the Bolt EV by Chevrolet.
Yeah.
I don't know much more about it.
So this bolt comes with roughly 125 horsepower, and it gets a range of, I want to say, 400 miles, which is pretty impressive.
Neither of those are correct.
It's not neither
Is this
of them.
all bad information?
It's all bad information.
You're
It's
so
not the
wrong.
information.
Dang it! I really thought
That's
that.
why I stopped at Bolt EV and said, that's really all I know about
Gotcha.
this
Okay.
car.
Well, anyways,
Off
so
the top
this-
of my head, I know the range is somewhere between 190 and 240 or so.
That's way off.
250 miles. There you go.
200 horsepower
horsepower.
and 250 miles is pretty
Okay,
good.
pretty good.
So, anyways, this thing is now wearing Uno Advanced and is wearing Defender on top of that. It feels extremely slick. The gloss is really starting to pop through. The car's looking awesome. It feels great. We used Edgeless 365s and Rupes yellow pads as well as Buff and Shine yellow pads on the whole car. And with a combination of the HLR 75 and the Rupes LHR 15 Mark III. And this is kind of our final quick result. But me and you did this in 30.
Was it 30 minutes? I
30,
mean, it was
30 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
It was quick, guys.
It's crazy
That was
how
quick.
fast this actually goes when
Yeah.
you have help. But in your garage, like I said, you could do all this in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, totally
You know.
feasible.
You could do
Yeah.
this. You could do this pretty quick. You could have
Or
fun
if you
with
want
it.
to add more, you could clean the engine bay. You could vacuum the interior. You could do the windows. You could do under the fender wells, all that stuff, and this becomes a normal in and out detail.
You know what we need to do?
We need to charge $300 to $500.
We need to film a rinseless wash video at somebody's house, right? Where we get some shots that open it up, like on the outside. It's like snowy. It's a snowy day, right? And then we have the car that's kind of dirty sitting in the garage, and then we turn on a propane heater, right? We turn on some Enya. We light a candle, which I don't know if
I have
should
a
be.
candle in my garage.
I don't know
It's
if
a
a candle
leather
should be
vent.
lit with a propane heater, and then we do a rinseless wash in there. That would
Yeah.
be magical.
You know,
Yeah.
it is funny.
I like
For
that. So
all the
here's what I
times
do.
we've talked about that is something that we actually should show people, because I feel like people don't believe us when we say
Yeah.
you can rinse this wash
So-
in your garage.
I would say we could do this in my garage. However,
Yeah.
it's very dirty.
Yeah.
And I put a rug down
Yeah. Oh, nice.
to help with the snow catch. Here's the problem.
I love the evolution of your house.
Here's the
It's just like
problem.
rolling into a street fair.
So the evolution
Here's
of
the problem,
Levi's
though.
house has featured multiple cars. Now he's got his trailer, and now he's got his garage rug.
So I took the old
The
house
Dothraki
rug,
pleasure tent is gone, though.
threw it down there to help with the liquid in the garage.
Yeah.
Right. This rug was not designed for that.
Just
It
sheeting
absorbed
up.
all the water.
Oh, did it?
And it stinks like a wet rug now in my garage. And every time, I am so sorry, Carly, for this
Sick.
wet rug in the garage. However, it's kept her safe. She's not slipping and falling when she's getting out of
Oh,
the car.
there you go.
So that's something.
It serves its purpose, I'm hearing. Okay,
Because
well,
it's not a
that's
rubber
fair.
back like the other rug that I have.
All right, Dane. Hey, we're going to kick this over to you guys. Thank you so much. This is us
Yep.
here in the studio saying, hey,
that's
thanks
the
for
camera.
watching. And Dane, can you take us home?
Of course I can. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Levi, for
Appreciate it.
demonstrating on this wonderful little Chevy Bolt TV. Looks like you guys did a great job. Anyway, if you're watching here, I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your afternoon, or perhaps you just had us on in the background and it was something to put there. But either way, we really appreciate it. And if you could, please, before you go, click like on this video. Helps us out, and it helps you out getting stuff recommended to you that you presumably liked, because, hey, you're here at the end, right? Anyway, make sure you do that. And if you're not subscribed to the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel, make sure you do that too. Of course, our main channel as well, if you haven't already done that. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you. And please do leave a review. If you listen to our podcast, right down below, you can leave a comment here about what we did or something you want to see us do in the future when it comes to detailing and doing live Q&A at the same time. We're open to ideas, especially yours. So please share them. Otherwise, I would say hello, but this is a goodbye. So I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week. See ya.